We play games to have fun, right? And Shadowverse is fun. Like very fun at times actually, but it's also extremely frustrating. It's trying to sell itself as a competitive card game, but it's not, and it will never will be going at this pace. Now the problem I have with this is like the game feels like you're playing solitaire. Like there is no interaction between you and your opponent. You guys are just trying to like do your own thing, you know, trying to like do finish your win con and just like see who gets better draws and wins first. And the matchups are like horrible. A lot of the times the matchup automatically decides the game. Like let's say if you have like Roach Forest queuing into like Ward Haven, you just automatically lose. There is no winning ever. And you can queue against Ruin who high rolls, and no matter what you're playing, you just automatically lose. There is no counterplay. You can't play around anything, right? And then there's a problem with going first and second. There's like a huge discrepancy between your win rate. It's like a 20-30%, like crazy like that. You know, so many decks wants to go second because of their super strong evolve ability and like a strong you know, whatever, early drop, 5 drop, 4 drop, 6 drop, and then a super strong like 7 drop that can take a coin into playing. So many times you just like start the game, you see your starting hand and you see your matchup, you like there is no point in playing anymore. You can just forfeit like right there. And these things are fine, except when you have like things like weekly tournament and Grand Prix where like every win matters and you just queue into like, you know, complete bullshit and you just like lose on the spot. It's not about like how good you can be or how well you can play. It's more about like coin flipping, and you want to get like the Roach player who's like trying out Roach for the first time in Topaz, or are you going to match up against the Ruin player who has a net deck, you know, in Masters and Diamond Division, and who also high rolls, by the way. Like there is no like reward for like playing well. It's just like reward for like queuing at the right time against the right opponent. Really, that is like incredibly frustrating to deal with. And speaking of like the tournament on the weekend, right? It's a good concept, but like why are you limiting it to like a certain time? You know, only like I think it opens for like 6 hours. You know, maybe that's like a bad time for people, or like I don't want to play at that time, right? Like why are you like punishing players if they can't be there in those 2 specific days on that specific time? And the way it plays, it's so weird. You have like people locked in a room, and you know some people are like Ruin against Haven, you know, some bullshit like that. So you wait like 20-30 turns, you know, wait half an hour for them to finish like one game, and everyone on the lobby is held hostage. Like once you hit like Diamond Group, you just see like the same thing over and over again. It's Ruin Sword, Ruin Sword, Ruin Sword, right? Like only when you drop to like Sapphire that you start seeing like other decks being played, like some Abyss deck, some Haven deck, you know. But like if you play, if you're on Diamond, everything you see is like the same thing. It's just so boring, you know, playing the same thing over and over again, or playing against the same thing over and over again. And you, if you want to like keep yourself at Diamond ranked and have a high win rate, you yourself have to play the boring deck over and over again. You know, in order to like not go insane, you have to like constantly, or I have to constantly like, you know, play other decks just so that like I don't feel stale. And like I said, you know, a lot of the times the game just play like solitaire. You just kind of like play your own deck and do your own thing. Like there's no like interaction. I'll give like a good example. Like you're playing Haven and turn 6, you have Wilbert. Will you play a Wilbert or not, right? The answer is always yes, right? You might know or might think about playing around Odin because you might just literally lose the game if they have it. But at the same time, like what else are you going to do? The only thing you can do is hope they don't have Odin. And this is what I mean, right? You only care about your own game plan. You can't worry about your opponent's game plan because there's nothing you can do about it. So it doesn't matter at all. Do you remember a game where you made like a read or like a strong play that just won you the game and you feel like good about it afterwards? Like after playing hundreds of games, I can only name like a handful of scenarios where that actually happened. So many of the cards are so brokenly strong, and you have Sword and Ruin having most of the stronger cards, so everyone plays those decks. And I'm not saying like everything needs to be balanced, but damn, are some cards just like boggles my mind. Like there's a lot of cards I can talk about, but one card in particular, An and Grea, is just, I want to know what was going on in the designer's head when they came up with this, right? It's a 5 mana 4/4, and it summons a 5/5 with taunt and rush, right? Like that itself is already like a pretty decent card. And you have spell boost on play. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Spell boost your hand 3 times, right? It's insane, but like it's not enough, right? Like the people designing this is like, oh wait, it's not enough. We had to give it an evolve effect to deal 3 damage when evolved, like just as a cherry on top. Taunt killing itself is literally a non-drawback, right? The card comes in, kills something, and the opponent needs a card to deal with it on their turn. Like it's done its job, right? Its whole purpose is to stall. And you have cards like this, right? I'm sure you played against Ruin, who's going turn 2, and this is coming back to like going first and second, by the way. You know, turn 4, they coin on Grea. Turn 5, they play on Grea. Turn 6, they coin and play Kuon. And I'm not going to even get into Kuon, right? And then turn 7, they play Kuon again. And this is how you get people who can like declimb at turn 8, right? And it's just like what can you do against this? Like how do you play against this? Right? You can't do anything, right? And that speaks about like a lot of other decks too. It's about like, oh, is my opponent high rolling? They are? Oh, I guess I'll lose. If not, okay, I might have a chance. And then came set 2, and then they got William. Like, damn, bro, like healing, draw, and like a taunt with barrier, like really. As if they need like more stalling cards in their arsenal. So the game is more about like high rolling, and like cards can literally just win you the game. And looking at like set 3 now, it's so many cards are so overpowered. You don't even need to think, right? About like I said, you don't need to think about trading, going face, you know, when to play it, because you will play it always because it clears the board for you. It like hits your opponent. Like you don't need to think. It's because it's all in one kit. You just need to draw the card and play the card, right? You don't need to think at all. It's actually kind of funny, right? All these like new gimmicks and ways to play a deck, and then you have like Crest Haven, where it's literally just like the card does everything for you. You just play it and you gain the crest effect, and you don't even need to think about attacking. It just does everything for you, you know? So at like what point, you know, do the crowd creep get so bad that you literally have a card that's like, play this card and you win the game? Looking at the new cards and trying out like the solo mode and seeing trying out the gimmicks, it's actually pretty fun, I would say. I mean, I understood like the game when it works, it really is fun. But then the problem is like, once again, like Crest Haven, Loot Sword, it's like when you as an opponent playing against these classes, what can you do to stop it? Right? There's nothing you can do. It's like you are just trying to do your own thing faster. Right? There is no counterplay. So it's like 2-player playing their own games. How does this make like a fun watching and like playing experience? You know, and you know the game is trying to be like competitive and trying to have like a good esport and audience. But you know, I think, you know, as soon as like all the hype and like all the money they show to advertise and like pay for tournaments, as soon as that like runs out, I think the game is going to like fall off a cliff, like very drastically. I watched Spice play like Sword a few days, but I am never going to watch anyone play the game like ever again. It is good for going to sleep though. And like I'm kind of surprised too, like the game even had like a decent launch, seeing how scary it was, you know, like launching with 16% Steam reviews, like up there with the GOATs. Like I personally thought a lot of these problems were non-issues, because really they aren't. But one thing is, I gotta say, is, you know, the customer is always right. You know, if people are complaining and people are not happy, like they have the right to be, right? And you should care. I will say though, one thing that really bothered me out of all the complaint was a silver card crafts change. Like they nerfed it so much for dusting, and I remember that the reasoning for it was they wanted people to craft silver cards better, so they lower the cost. Like holy shit! Like this is an actual execution worthy of a response. Name me one person that crafts silver cards, right? We all know bronze and silver cards are just used as dusting materials, a fodder for like gold and legendary cards. And speaking of like legendary cards, how is there no like duplication protection? Like some legendary I have like 5, 6, 7 copies of, and meanwhile I still have like 0 copy of some gold and legendary cards. Like even Hearthstone figured out that getting dupe legendaries was like a shit thing to do. So like why are we still getting like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th copy of a legendary card? Like yes, and the reasoning they gave for not letting players to dust cards if they don't have at least 3 copies is just it's just brilliant. So with this in mind, I'm looking at like, you know, in like a month, in like a few more months, like set 5, set 6, set 7, it's like they have like almost 10 years of experience and of like running OG Shadowverse and seeing how like power creep slowly just made like the game into a sloth fest. How have they not taken and learned any lesson from that and just dropped like so many broken cards just straight out from the get-go? How's the game gonna look in a few more sets? And I was genuinely shocked when set 2 came out and there was not a single balance change, like nerfs to any of the set 1 cards. Like these people really just think like things are just perfect and flawless, that no change is needed. And now we're set 3 and like where is like the nerfs? I've been like playing like and doing like every event like since launch, right? Like a good boy. And whenever there's like a chess event, I would like, you know, play like 10, 20 games a day to get all 5, to get all 5 chests, like all those like 250 vitals, like a good boy. It's like that system is honestly like terrible too. You know, someday I can finish it in like 30 minutes and someday it takes like 2 hours, right? I've been on like 6 win streaks and still not have a chest appear. And it's like, why not just make it like a chest every win? Like, I just don't understand. Like recently, like the frustration I have with the game is just like slowly building, and I question it a lot. It's like why, like what am I playing for? Genuinely, like I'm just losing like interest, right? So I stopped kind of like bothering with like the dailies and the weekly tournaments, and I didn't even bother with the Grand Prix for set 2. I would genuinely practice these decks and in ranked and try to understand every possible matchup and how to play against them, but it doesn't matter at all. Like every time when I try to play serious and want to win, I will just get cosmically bricked and just can't do anything like at all, and it will just feel terrible getting blown the fuck up like that. Oh, I remember, okay, the last event, right? Also like a shit show. It was like you choose a team. I wasn't even mad about that because I literally just didn't care. Because on the first day, I chose like the dragon faction and I got in. I tried to queue for a game and it took me more than 8 minutes to get in the game. And I remember around the 8-minute mark, right, I saw a guy like next to me finish their game and sit back down on the table. And in 3 seconds, they instantly got a queue. Like, I know because they're wearing like the yellow dragon shirt. Right. Meanwhile, I've been sitting there for like 8 minutes. Most of the people picked dragon, and you can't go against your own team. So people picking dragon just have like insane queue times, and then you're stuck in the lobby with like 100 people. Right. There's no like cross server queuing or whatever. After that, I was like, okay, I'm not playing this anymore. Like it's just whatever. Like, and the people got mad about how like the blue team won at the end. But damn, man, like, you know, when you do things that constantly make people mad, like damn bro, like I mean at what point are you gonna like actually think about what you do before you do it? One last thing I want to say is like how the game is gonna look, like the long term. You know, it gets stale after a while. The game is not fun to watch competitively because like I said, it's a very like solitaire level of interaction. So without like a good viewing like a good playing, like eventually like people are just gonna like do something else. More and more old players gonna get frustrated and burnt out like me, and it's gonna be incredibly hard for a new player to come in the game, right? Because they need cards from like set 1, set 2, set 3, and as the game goes on, this list is gonna get even longer. Ever a new set comes out, you need like to get the cards and to to have like somewhat competitive, not even competitive, but just a fun deck, right? Like all like the main gimmicks are locked behind like that one legendary, like always. So it really just comes down to, right? The game presents you with like a problem, a barrier, right? And in order to solve the problem and have fun, which is getting the legendaries, you now need to pay. And I guess that just sums up like almost like all gacha games out there. Like how long is that gonna last? I mean, the game is looking pretty good and has made like good money. I'm sure they're happy with like all the money they made. Like it definitely covered their cost of making it. I don't mean to project, but I know what these people think like, right? They're probably patting themselves on the back for like a job well done. But really the people who should be patting themselves on the back are like the artists and the animators, because the art in this game is literally what carries the game. And sound. Like the game is like monetary, like, successful, but like how much more could it be successful? Like that's what I like to think about. The so-called quote unquote lost potential. And honestly, I gave this game like another shot because I have a good love for the IP. And I still remember like back in 2016 when I was like still like playing Hearthstone and I'm watching Crip every night. And then Crip suddenly got a Shadowverse sponsor, and I just like, damn, like were those the times, right? They advertised Shadowverse, like the world thing, where like you can play mahjong and stuff and like fishing. I really give the game a try for mahjong, right? But we all know that like kind of that is like horseshit now. But yeah, I give the game about like, I don't know, if they don't like do better, like get their head out of their ass, I'll give it like a 6 to 7 month before it completely falls off a cliff.